shouldn't be this angry. I shouldn't. Oh no, this is bad. She calls herself a holographic Charizard. Hey guys! Today I'm gonna be reacting to Adultolescence by Gabbie Hanna. If you're new around here, listen up. I got a little secret to tell you. I'm not just any reactor. I am Starlet the Starlet, and I'm a writer. So I don't just react, I review. And the way I do it is simple. If I like something, I add a point, and if I don't, I take one off. Now this is my little darling Seth. He loves books too, and this is gonna be his bedtime story, so he's just gonna chill here with me. Right, let's jump in. There's a picture! There's a picture! Do you see what that says? It's called Ointment. Disappointment. Ew. This is seriously what we're starting with? Oh my god. Look what we got, you guys. Not only are we greeted by an array of asses, this is one of those advice poems that aren't really poems. They're literally all just pieces of advice that Gabbie's felt the need to share. And these are also one of the cringiest type of poems we've come across so far. Anyway, what's she saying today? Huh. Interesting. This is actually better than I expected. Usually these pieces of advice are just really shallow most of the time. It's usually just advice that no one asked for, but get it. But this one is actually kind of correct. Like it's about how when Gabbie was little, girls used to ask, does my butt look big in this? In a self-conscious kind of way. But now girls say it in an excited kind of way. Which is true, you know. Beauty standards have definitely evolved in several ways in the last like 25 years. But you know what the last line of the poem is? Gabbie basically just told me, don't worry, your butt will be trendy one day. Do you know what? I actually had two very different experiences with reading it in my head versus saying it out loud. It sounded way better in my head. Which probably says a lot. It was probably the same for Gabbie when she wrote this, because now that I say it out loud, it does sound a little bit patronizing. Like, I can't imagine saying that to a friend and not having it backfire somehow. Anyway, I think I'm actually gonna give that a point, because not only did that exceed my expectations, but she's right, you know. Trends come and go. Big butts have fallen in and out of fashion a million times before. Anyway, next. The next poem is called Concealer. I refuse to call this a poem, because all it says is, I wear makeup because I have acne, but I have acne because I wear makeup. Like, what do you want me to say, Gabbie? Like, this is, I'm sorry, but this is a you problem. Oh my gosh. The next poem is called Stunted, but it comes with a picture of a dolphin with like plastic caught around its tail, cry laughing. It's cry laughing. What's so funny? Are you okay, mate? Do you need help? Oh, okay. So I think the dolphin's meant to be Gabbie in this. Because in the poem, she gives a few examples of times where she's, where her behavior has contradicted her emotions. Like, it says stuff like, I laugh when I'm uneasy and stifle giggles when I'm glad. Well, I mean, these examples came after the question why. Like, she's wondering why she does these things. And then at the end of the poem, she comes to the conclusion that she's emotionally impaired, but viscerally immature. Gabbie. You do realize that doesn't excuse your recent scandals. Call me petty if you want, but my mind's made up. Next, metaphor. Oh my days. Oh my days. Right, so there are several problems with this poem, Metaphor. It's called Metaphor for a start, and the first line is, am I crazy? Wait for it. And then in brackets, it has rhetorical question. She had to put rhetorical question in brackets after am I crazy? You can't do that. You can't do that when you write poetry, Gabbie. You might want that question to be rhetorical, but guess what? Readers are probably going to answer it anyway, because that's what happens with writing. Readers don't always take things the way you want them to take things, okay? Anyway, the whole poem's a metaphor. A bad one. It's a long poem, and throughout the whole thing, Gabbie uses the metaphor of doing all sorts of crazy dumb things with a phone and nothing happening to the phone, but the moment you treat it with any sort of care, the screen just shatters. That's not even the end of it, guys. It gets worse. Do you know what she puts after that? She literally wrote, "This is a very millennial metaphor for the human psyche." I knew it, guys. I knew it. She thinks her work is the next big thing, doesn't she? I shouldn't be this angry. I shouldn't. She probably doesn't deserve this, but still, she deserves it. You can bet a whole load of points coming off for that. Right, next. This is called Idol. And we have two people having a conversation, right? The guy on the left says, "If you could trade lives with anyone, who would it be?" Oh snap. The other guy says Marilyn Monroe. Side note, I was literally thinking, is it just me? Or does that guy on the right look a little bit like Marilyn Monroe? I literally thought that. And I was never planning on mentioning it. Because A, I'm probably the only one who sees the resemblance. And B, I didn't think she was gonna be mentioned. But anyway, boy A says she's dead. Boy B says I know. Is that it? Oh, shit. That Marilyn Monroe thing just blindsided me completely. I legit didn't take in the second half of the poem. So, guy B wants to be Marilyn Monroe, but she's dead. This really isn't about Marilyn Monroe herself. She could easily be replaced with any dead celebrity. We've all been here though, haven't we? Next. This has another interesting illustration. So this poem's called Cheetah, but it has a drawing of two cockroaches. One's dead, one's alive, and the live one's doing something with a toothbrush. Help me out, y'all. What is it doing? Maybe I should read it. Oh my days, guys. This gave me goosebumps. In the worst way possible. It's even worse I read this in Gabbie Hanna's voice. I can also imagine Trisha Paytas reading this. Oh, okay. So the first paragraph says, "I accidentally used your toothbrush today, but I didn't mind, because it's the closest thing I can get to your kiss." That's where I got the goosebumps. Oh, only Gabbie Hanna can make my own goosebumps feel like a violation. Okay, and then it says, "Then I remembered where your mouth has been and I got really So I'm assuming the cockroach is doing something with this guy's toothbrush is probably a visual metaphor. But Gabbie, what if the only gross thing that's been near this guy's mouth is you? Yo, that would actually turn this bad poem into a good poem, because that would just add a whole new level to it. That would make it introspective, you know? But I doubt Gabbie put that much thought into this. So next. That clock just screams Tumblr. This is nothing special. Let me read this to you guys. This says, "Isn't it funny how you can go your entire life without someone, then one day you can't imagine a minute without them?" I'm sorry, but if a friend said that to me, I'm such a bad friend. If a friend said that to me, I just remain silent. Right, next one. Bird. No, not gonna lie, the first line of this scared me. There was that very brief moment of panic. The first line is, "I jumped today and I survived." And then it says, everyone assumed I wanted to die, but I just wanted to know what it's like to fly. Yo, is this making a statement? I don't know if this is meant to be just, you know, just a typical Gabbie Hanna Tuesday, you know, just Gabbie things, or a poem from the perspective of someone mentally ill. Because, I mean, that is kind of how it is. And I am talking from experience, but also from what I've heard of other people's experiences. Let's say this is from the point of view of a depressed person. Obviously, this whole thing is crazy. But let's take the last line, right? I just wanted to know what it's like to fly. Sometimes that's all they see, you know? That's all they think about. And some people know that it's not right to be thinking this way, but they still see nothing wrong with it, kinda. It's a little hard to explain. I actually want to give Gabbie the benefit of the doubt here. Like, maybe she did want this to actually be about mental illness instead of just a quirky little thing. So I think I'm actually going to give her a point. Right. Oh boy. We got a 2-pager for once. But it's called Chivalry. I'm a little bit scared. I'm sorry, but I'm not really interested in what Gabbie has to say about feminism or whatever. But let's do this anyway. Oh no, this is bad. Guys, I haven't even made it halfway through, and I'm already struggling. I'm losing the will to keep going. Bad. Gabbie. Where is she? Someone bring her to me. I just want to talk. Alright, so at first, this sounded like Gabbie couldn't really make up her mind if she wanted a guy to be chivalrous, you know, and do stuff like open doors for her and pay for dates and stuff. But then it became clear that she's decided she doesn't need those things, but she wants them. And honestly, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I low-key kind of agree, sort of. I love it when guys do this kind of stuff, and I'd prefer it, but I don't need it. Like, you know, like I don't expect a guy to pay for every single date. I just appreciate it if a guy goes out of his way for me, because I like my romance, okay? Like, Disney princesses shaped the way I grew up, okay? Like, I do view myself as a little bit of a princess. Anyway, my first impression of this was actually wrong. It was the complete opposite to what this actually is. Gabbie isn't indecisive. She's the complete opposite. She knows full well what she wants. And if I'm honest, she's a little too certain of what she wants, okay? Like, I'm all for knowing who you are and everything, but if you're at the point where you're writing cringy lines in your poetry book that no one asked for, yeah, you need to come back to earth a little bit. Some of these lines are beyond cringy. First of all, the word yo has its own line. The word yo shouldn't even be in this poem. Like, way to throw away your credibility. So that's the first problematic line. The next one is that Gabbie calls herself, brace yourself guys, she calls herself a holographic Charizard. See what I mean about being a little too sure of herself? And it gets worse. A couple lines later on, she pats herself on the back for pulling out them sick Pokemon references in this poetry book that no one asked for. Wait, now that I'm rereading this, she's actually coming across so arrogant. After she pats herself on the back for that, she justifies it by saying that she did it just because she's dope as First of all, cringe. Gabbie. Gabbie, I'm sorry, but you're gonna be 30 soon. Reel it in. And then after that, yeah, it goes on. After that, she says that she's just doing fine by herself and she doesn't need this guy one little bit. How do you expect a guy to be chivalrous towards you after you say stuff like that? No. Oh, Lord, give me strength. Do you know what's next? Another advice poem. This is all types of wrong. Oh my days. First of all, the structure of this poem is non-existent. If 1 was no structure at all and 10 was like a fully edited like novel, this poem would be like -12. I don't know how Gabbie managed to do it, but the way she structured this triggered me to beyond belief. I've literally never seen anything like this. This is the equivalent of a painting hanging on a wall, just slightly off center. But yeah, what she describes is actually full on manipulation. And it sounds like she just did it for the lulz. I don't know why she's put this as advice. This is not advice, Gabbie. God forbid anyone try and take advice from this. This might not have even ever happened. This could be just completely made up. But she tells us about a time where she once convinced an entire group of people that a chocolate pie tasted like mac and cheese, and they all agreed with her because apparently she was that good at persuading them all. Do you know how she tries to turn this into advice? It starts off with beware the power of persuasion, and it ends with don't believe everything you hear. Be your own person and think for yourself. Gabbie, you literally have no room to say this. If Gabbie's out here doing stuff like this, releasing poems like this, but pulling stuff like what she did with Jessie Smiles and the fans that Jessie mentioned in her video where she exposed Gabbie, she really has no room to talk. Okay, I'll sum up what happened for you guys. Gabbie is here trying to promote poems with messages like this, where the moral is think for yourself. However, she stepped out of line multiple times and she's turned people's fans against them for no other reason than because it benefits her. I'm done with you, Gabbie. I just can't anymore today. Right, that's where I'm gonna leave it for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give that like button a little kiss and subscribe to become a Starlet. Also, make sure to follow me on Snapchat, Instagram and Twitter. And if you've read something that's just left you shook beyond repair, let me know in the comments. I'll see you guys later. Bye.